Ladies and gentlemen, it is Victory Monday. My co-hosts over at Roundtable Sports are always saying, oh my God, that damn Mitchell smirk. It's got to go away eventually. Not this week. Not this week at all. The Buffalo Bills ended up putting belt to ass against the New York Jets yesterday. 30 points. And in a game where I didn't really feel like we were doing a lot well in the passing game. Well, Josh Allen ended up having a historical performance on week one. After the bloody nose, it was largely a James Cook sort of situation offensively. It was the defense stepping up. I know a lot of us were concerned about the defense, but I mean, look, it's still too early. But at the end of the day, I feel like I'm sensing an improvement, specifically within the defensive line. And that goes a long way. Since Ed Oliver was out, we had Taron Johnson out, and we had Bosa have a damn game. I'm excited to unpack everything. I really am. I'm going to be welcoming my buddy Tommy on here in about 15 minutes so we can unpack it together, some of our biggest takeaways. The Garage Beer Hotline will be open for all of us to get things off of our chest, why we're so excited about this team, and a quick turnaround, too, because on Thursday, we're playing the Miami Dolphins, so we're not going to be able to celebrate as long as we did last week. We have to get back to business at some point, and man, I cannot wait. Now, if you thought you were having a good morning, I'm going to have to show you a wonderful video clip that's going to make you have even a better day right before we dive into it. It's my buddy TD Finstock, right? Like, he is known for having some of the best clip reactions to watching his Miami Dolphins team play each and every single week. And on this video, it was directly after the Dolphins celebrated their punt return touchdown. And anytime the Dolphins score a touchdown, we hear from TD Finstock. He plays his song that he wrote. And just watch this. Thank me later. This is absolute cinema.
It's the new era and we back up in the mid. MIAMIDOLPAINs when the wipe again. I've been rapping since if you rapping, then we can.
Poor TD, man. Poor TD Finstock, man. He had a rough day, all right? And a lot of people in the AFC East had a rough day. The Dolphins, same thing with the New York Jets, obviously getting a 30-10 type situation. But I highly recommend that you guys go save that clip for a rainy day. In case you were ever feeling, down in the dumps, just go ahead and bookmark that tweet from Master at Work, all right? Like, hold it, use it on a rainy day, because I've watched it at least like 15, 20 times, and my God, my face hurts from smiling as much as I have. Poor TD Finstock, dude. Holy shit. Anyway, guys, it's Victory Monday. I'm excited to unpack this game with each and every single one of you. All I ask is that you hit that thumbs up sign for me. It's the easiest way to show love over here. Special shout out to everybody that was tuning into my live play-by-play reaction. I'm seeing a lot of new names in the live chat community. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm live Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. EST. I am super excited about that. And roll call in the chat. Let me know where you're tuning in from. I'm always curious to see how far Bills Mafia truly extends. What corner of the globe are you tuning in from? Do not be shy. I'm talking to all the lurkers in the chat as well that want to get in on the action. Austin's coming in. He's saying, hey, Dan, I've been down lately due to the Giants making me depressed. Hey, man, listen, it's a long rebuild. Have no fear. Your quarterback of the future is on the bench. I think the Giants will rise to the occasion once again. Anyway, guys, I need to go on ahead and give a giant shout out to our proud partner today, that so happens to be William Mattar. If you guys are ever hurt in a car, you have to call William Mattar, #1 car accident attorney in the state of New York. I would never wish a car accident on anybody, but say that it does happen. That's the cruel reality of this world. You have to make sure you have the right guy in your corner. Look no further than William Mattar, man. Phone number is on the screen. Keep that for a rainy day. All right. I also need to give a giant shout out to Sleeper. Folks, Sleeper is bar none the #1 player prop platform on the market today. It's very simple what you end up doing. And tonight's game is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Houston Texans, LA Chargers, and the Las Vegas Raiders. Simply just scroll through and pick some of your favorite players or players that you love to hate and predict more or less of their particular stat lines. All you need to do, guys, Say, for example, you want to get in on the action. Very simple. Just go on ahead and hit that link in my description, and they're matching 100% of your first deposit all the way up to $100. Shout out to Sleeper for being a proud partner of today's show. Without further ado, let's go ahead and start talking a little bit about this game. I'm gonna be letting Tommy in here in about 5 to 10 minutes. Let's see where everyone's tuning in here. We got Chattanooga, Tennessee is in the building. Shout out El Paso, Texas, Lackawanna, New York, Erie, Pennsylvania, Boston, Massachusetts is in the building. I am a Dolphins fan, and I love this Bills content. You're too good, Dan. Utica, New York. Tyler, what's going on, man? I hope all is well. Ray, Utah. Bismarck, North Dakota, live from Buffalo. What a beatdown. Leander, Texas, baby. Go Bills. Danbury, Connecticut at work. Victory Monday. Go Bills. It is absolutely awesome. Bowling Green, Kentucky is in the building. Guys, do not be shy. Let me know where you're tuning in from as we start unpacking this game here. Let's talk about this. We have Daniel is coming in. Good morning, Dan, from Knoxville, Tennessee. Great win yesterday, especially for the defense. But 3 comments. 1, is it fair to say Dawson Knox has been inconsistent in his play since joining the Bills? Something has to give with Curtis Samuel. You don't pay a receiver starting money, 3 or 24, and make him a healthy scratch each week. And 3, Herb Milano is yet again injured. All right, so a lot to unpack there. Daniel, I appreciate you coming on in. As far as Dawson Knox, man, I kind of saw the writing on the wall when we drafted Jackson Hawes in the first place, because him and Hawes are basically the exact same tight end. There is an out on Dawson Knox's contract next offseason. I would not be surprised if he is a roster casualty based off of that move alone. Now, as far as Knox, his bread and butter is blocking. Like, he went his entire collegiate career without catching a touchdown pass. So Buffalo kind of like made him more of a receiving weapon. Yeah, he's inconsistent, but unfortunately, that's what you get, right? And then once Hawes starts getting more targets, I'm sure we'll be saying the exact same thing. That's just the prototypical type tight end that he is. As far as Curtis Samuel, I mean, it's my best guess, right? My guess is as good as yours. Best theory I have is that we are genuinely trying to shop him around before the trade deadline for a team that maybe suffers a lot of injuries at the wide receiver position. I will tell you one team that would hands down probably take him from us. I'd say the Kansas City Chiefs. Like, that offense is pedestrian right now. Like, they barely have a pulse at this point. So I think Kansas City would be willing to bring in just about anybody at this point. And Milano yet again injured. According to Thigh Doctor, it sounds like it was a quote-unquote blown tire, meaning a hamstring injury. He is anticipating 2 weeks. It sucks, but hey, listen, as long as our defensive line can continue to be dominant, which it has been, especially last week, we're going to be feeling pretty damn good. Scott coming in with a $10 donation. I appreciate you, dude. Happy Victory Monday, my guy. Hey, Dan, and did you know Matt Milano ended up on the injury report? He didn't play the second half of the game. I think it's minor, though. And do you think everybody will be back next week from injury? It's going to be tough to say for a Thursday night matchup on short rest. It really is going to be. So probably not, but that's okay because Miami is number 1 in shambles and number 2, far more injured in all of the wrong places going into Thursday. So Milano probably won't be back. I mean, we'll see about Taron Johnson. Maybe he'll be good, but I suppose we're just going to have to wait. How about Joey Bosa? Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and let my good friend Tommy in here because we need to talk a little ball. Man. Tommy, the Mafia Sports Report, man. He's my go-to. He's my guy for all season game recaps on Monday whenever it does happen. Shout out to Tommy for being my guy here. My fellow mods holding the fort down, being awesome per the norm. Morning, fellas. Shout out to the moderators in here for always keeping the peace. I sincerely appreciate that. Mike is saying, what's up, Dan? What's up, bro? Hope all is well. RM56, shout out to Jackson Hawes for being a blocking machine. It's a part of his game that's just too crazy. Yes, let Tommy in. He's coming in, baby. We're going to talk a little Buffalo Bills football. LFG, Tommy. Morning, Beth. Shout out the mods. That's what I'm talking about. But you know what? I can't do it by myself. We need to talk a little football. Tommy, happy Victory Monday, dude.
Happy Victory Monday, Dan. Happy Victory Monday to all of Bills Mafia out there. Oh, it feels good being the only New York football team beating those New Jersey Jets. Boy, that game seemed to drag on. For me, I don't know about you, but it was like one of those games that just dragged on. We knew what the outcome was going to be for like an hour and a half, right? And ultimately, we got the job done 30-10. They got a garbage touchdown at the end. But listen, I know, sir, listen, there's optimistic Jets fans out there, and I don't blame any fan for being optimistic about their ball club. But
you're fanning.
But you're a fan. But at the end of the day, did you really think the Bills are going to lose to the Jets? And listen, the Jets aren't the Ravens, and we aren't the Steelers, and we proved that on Sunday. We all those people that were up in the clouds for the Jets fans, they got really shot back down to reality real quick. And the Bills are the team in the East. We run the East, just like the Patriots did for many, many years. So there's a lot of problems right now in the East. I would say the Patriots are the only team, and the Jets, they have some promise, but I don't know about Fields as their quarterback. They need to figure that out. But I would say the Patriots right now are the only team that is trending in the right direction, but they still got a while to go, Dan.
Yeah. So as far as the optimism I have for the Patriots, right? They did end up beating the Dolphins, but they had a lot of fluky plays that ended up helping them come out on top, right? Like that. Yeah. Like, I'm not taking away anything from that kick return touchdown, but again, like a lot of that has to do with a little bit of luck always associated with it. It's mostly talent, but there is a little bit of luck when it comes into that play. It's the Jets, dude. It's the Jets. And you know what? I don't think anybody in this chat, at least Bills fans, were sort of like overly concerned that we were going to lose that game, right? Because with Jets fans, we're always saying, oh, look at the past couple of matchups at MetLife. Even if the Bills did win, it was close. It was determined by a 3-point differential. What surprised you, like on Sunday? Were you anticipating a belt to ass type situation, or were you more on the page of, okay, I think this is going to be like a 27-24 like whole situation? So I had,
my score prediction for the game, I believe, was 37-23. So I did have us whooping them up. I didn't think we would hold them to 10. Really 3. We gave them a garbage touchdown at the end, but whatever, 10 points. I did think their run game would get a little bit on us, do a little bit better on us, especially with Ed Oliver being out. But man, my going into that game, what I said was, if the Bills could shut that run game down early and force Fields to pass, make them kind of one-dimensional, it would be a wrap. And that's really what happened. The defense came out swarming. They had a game plan, which was stop the run. Make sure Fields stays contained. You contain Fields and force him to beat us through the air. And obviously through the air was didn't happen. So, no. It was bad. Like, Fields looked exactly how I thought he would look. It's not a knock on Fields, but at this stage of his career, the writing's on the wall. You know who Fields is. You know what he can do. You shut down his, pretty much you shut down his legs and force him to throw, and he's bad. So we did a great job on defense. I think, I'll tell you what, right now through 2 weeks, I'm wrong about Joey Bosa. I wasn't excited about the signing when we did. I thought it was a typical, being kind of 1-year deal, older player with, with a lot of injury history. But right now, Bosa is making me eat crow. I mean, he's playing good football. He's making plays, force fumbles. So I gotta give love to Bosa right now, and let's just hope he can stay healthy. Unlike Milano, right? But right now, that's the only bad thing, really, honestly, that came out of that game was Milano injury. It's just like, yet again, here we are.
Yeah, you know what, dude? Like, how I looked at the entire situation, and I'm not sure if you were on the same page, but knowing what I know about Justin Fields, the second he fumbled that football, and so I knew the game was over. I knew the game was over. And that was significantly early into the game. I just knew that he's that type of quarterback that is a bit of a head case, and that was just going to make him play like absolute dog water for the remainder of it. Like 3 for 11 going 27 yards is absolutely pedestrian. He did have a couple, like that one big run, but that was toward the half, right? Like, what Buffalo wanted to do is just chew the clock at that point, and they were playing like a lot of prevent. So obviously there was going to be an opportunity, but this was a historically terrible game. If I'm the Jets, man, I'm riding with Tyrod Taylor, not unless like they're seriously like wanting to say, like maybe Fields can win us a couple of games, but the key ingredient to this season is for us just to find the QB of the future next year in the drafts. But
absolutely,
yeah.
I
As soon as that happened, I knew the game was over.
I don't know why they don't use Fields. And you're right, by the way. When they panned over to the sideline and showed Fields, he already looked like totally gone, right? Like dejected, right? The game was pretty much a wrap. He did you could just tell. Body language tells you everything, facial expressions. But I don't know why they don't use Fields like they did for Cordell Stewart in Pittsburgh for a long time. Like teams, right? Like in Pittsburgh, if they would have started Russell and put in Fields at some parts of the game, that's for me how I would use Fields, right? So go get your quarterback. If Fields was up for it, or even Tyrod the rest of the season, mix them both in. Tyrod's clearly a better passer. I know he's not, the answer, but if you put them both in, kind of just, it would make defenses kind of wonder what's going to happen, because Fields still can throw, but I don't know. I think I would mix it up with the two. And if you draft a quarterback, if Fields is willing to stick around as a backup to be that, type of quarterback, right? We're a gadget type quarterback. I don't see no harm in that. You know what I mean? Because he has legs, he's fast, but throwing, being like a quarterback, your franchise quarterback, no. You better draft a quarterback. You better hope he hits. And if he doesn't, draft again. Don't be afraid to keep drafting until you get it right. Arizona did it after one season, right? Who else did it? If you look at Atlanta paid a shit ton of money to Cousins. They drafted a quarterback. Cousins wasn't working. They benched him, and they got a very expensive backup right now. But they did the right thing. You know what I mean? So you gotta go through the draft. You gotta keep drafting, and I think that's where a lot of teams fail. They draft. They think they get it wrong, then they go and try to get these older quarterbacks. It just doesn't work out. You got to move on.
So we had a damn game from Joey Bosa. And one thing, yes, I love the sack that we got from the guy, but a massive storyline was oh my God, rookie Armand Membu, right tackle, held TJ Watt to 0 pressures. He held TJ Watt to 0 sacks. So I thought this matchup was going to be a bit more interesting, but as far as Joey Bosa was concerned, he was dominating the vast majority of the reps right here. This was not the sack, but it was a pressure, as you could see, completely bounces off, sheds it. He was in Fields' face all damn game. Forced fumble, right? Actually, 2 forced fumbles. One was recovered by the New York Jets, but he was an absolute menace. And you know what? Tommy, I'm looking at this defensive line, and maybe it's too soon, but I'm looking at the 2 guys that are suspended. I'm looking at the fact that Ed Oliver was out with an injury, and me speaking from an optimistic sense, I feel like Operation Fix the Defensive Line at all costs may have been accomplished this offseason. Is that too soon to say?
It's too soon to say, but Ryan Nielsen was a major get, major find when we hired him. He fixes defense. He's really, really good. And I think that may be the key, right, to success for this defensive line. But time will tell. It's only 2 weeks in. The first week was shaky, obviously, but we also went against a very, very good team. And there's going to be learning curves. We got a lot of young guys right now, especially on depth rotational pieces, Sanders, Walker. I still think Rousseau still, trying to find his way a little bit. But yeah, it looked way better, against the Jets. And we still got Hoyt, like you said, coming up after his suspension. Ogunjobi, I always mess his name up, but he's still coming up. We'll see what I'm not too hyped up about him, but Hoyt's different. Hoyt is like a unicorn on defense, right? He can play all over that line. He's an interesting player, and I think he will help this team out, and that's why they signed him. If Bosa could stay healthy and Hoyt coming back, Rousseau, if he could take that next step forward and continue to get better in his career, yeah, this line could look pretty damn good this year, and we're going to need it because I'm still not crazy about the safeties. Our corners, I thought, by the way, Trey played. I thought Trey looked okay. I didn't have any problem. I didn't see anything, bad about Trey giving up anything. I thought he did well. Benford obviously is doing Benford things out there. And, even what's his name got a sack. Even Cole Bishop got a sack. So,
dude, he was the leading tackler. Bro.
Yeah, so
Cole Bishop, man. You know what I mean?
Good to see. It's good to see.
So one thing I'll give him is that, yeah, like maybe I still sweat like when he's in coverage like situations.
Right.
But that man can tackle. Like he can come downfield and he can tackle. Like us literally holding this Jets run offense, which everyone was trying to say, oh my God, dude, like this is the Ravens light team, man. Like they run a very similar offense to Baltimore. And I was just like, let's stop pretending like that's easy. Like, let's stop pretending that that's so easily replicated. But like holding Breece Hall to 29 yards and Braylon Allen to 11, like, come on, dude. It's right. And so I feel like it does have to do with Nielsen, like you mentioned, because there were a couple of reps where they had Javon Solomon playing inside and for sure passing downs. Like Nielsen was out there just going on ahead and calling a chess match, like right against that offensive line. And I feel like we haven't seen a lot of it yet. And so we haven't even seen the full extent of what he has in his bag once he actually has a full set of personnel. Yeah,
and I feel like you already see the aggressiveness, even against two mobile quarterbacks, like getting after those guys, right? We're not playing that soft zone, that kind of prevent that nickel kind of defense that McDermott loves. We're getting after the quarterback a little bit more, right? Which is good to see. You got to get pressure on these guys. You have to. Even if you don't get to them, you got to create pressure. And I feel like Nielsen, provides that. He's bringing that with the defensive line. So, I love the pressure. Pressure makes mistakes. And you saw that this week. You really did. You even saw it in the Baltimore game. You bring a little pressure, they're going to make mistakes. So, we have the players. We just got to piece it together, right? And maybe Nielsen is that guy to finally piece it all together. We'll see. Time will tell. It's still early in the season. But what I will say this. These upcoming games are great for this team because right? These young guys are, they can afford to make some mistakes because these are winnable games. And just keep improving, right? So because later on, second half, they can't afford those mistakes. That's when we start, playing the tougher teams at home. And but right now, man, this is a great schedule for us early on.
Dude, it really is. And you know what? Like you saw the Joe Burrow situation, right?
Dude, 3 months. That's
for 3 months. He needs surgery per Adam Schefter.
Brutal, right? That guy's injury prone. I feel bad for that guy. Ever since he's gotten in the league, it's something. It's like every other year that dude is suffering some kind of injury.
So you want to hear like one take, and I really hope I'm wrong, dude, but like why doesn't this feel to you like another Andrew Luck situation?
God, can you imagine? You know what? I don't think so, because I don't think Burrow has that Luck mentality. Like Luck was different. I think Luck. I don't know. I just don't see it. I think Burrow is going to stay in the NFL as long as he possibly can. It's just in his nature. I think he's a competitor, and I'm not saying Luck wasn't. I just think Luck just, he was different, man. He was just different, and I think he just tapped out. That's rare. I got to tell you, that's not a lot of players that could continue to play tap out early in the NFL, right? It's usually guys that have been around a while, they'll finally tap out, but getting out because you're just like, hey, I just don't want to risk injury anymore to myself. That's crazy. Like that's rare, dude. So no, I don't see it happening, but that doesn't mean the Bengals eventually will go, man, this guy is giving us every other year of play. What do we do here? You know what I mean? Because now they won't, but
it's that, or like, so eventually, right? Like you need to look at from Joe Burrow's like perspective. What's to stop this guy from next offseason just being like, look, dude, like y'all need to get me the hell off of this team. Like look, like I appreciate you bringing my wide receivers over for me, but like guys, like we have 60% of the cap on 3 players. I have never had protection in my entire life. And I actually would like to have back-to-back healthy seasons so I can at least compete. Like,
but here's the problem though with that, Dan. He wanted those guys paid, right?
I know.
If you're pushing, like the NFL has a cap, right? This isn't MLB where you can the owner just like, hey, what do you want, Joey? We'll bring them all.
Yeah, who do you want, man? We'll bust out the checkbook.
I have no problem. Right, $1 billion, not a problem. So yeah, listen, that's why fans sometimes don't realize like there is a cap, right? Like you can only afford so much, and even with your rookies, well, eventually if they turn into stars, you got to figure out who you want to pay, right? Because ultimately your quarterback's paid if you have one, and then you can really only afford a couple more big contracts. I mean. And then you're kind of getting these. This is what we do: 1-year guys, 2-year contract, and then you're drafting and hope things stick. But yeah, listen, for me, like once they got shoveled out those big contracts to Burrow, to Chase, to Higgins, they're not left with a lot. So
no,
the only way this works for them is going through the draft and getting lucky with offensive linemen that they work. Outside of that, bro, I mean, this is what you get.
Dude, it's tough. And you know what? And so I think it's a cautionary tale, right? Because very regularly I get somebody in my chat saying like, Dan, like we need a true wide receiver number 1. Like look at the Bengals, right? And I always say, I'm like, remember, this is a salary cap league. So if we were to actually buy into that and go out and this is just an example, it's not going to happen, but it's, Dan, we need to go make a trade for Justin Jefferson, or like we need to eat that contract and bring him in. I'm like, okay, but are you willing to sacrifice our offensive line? Right? Because that, in my opinion, is truly the key ingredient to successful NFL organizations is the trenches. If you have an elite quarterback, that needs to be your next priority as far as where you spend your salary cap. Like we've seen the Kansas City Chiefs completely falter with their offensive line issues right now, right? Yes, I know that they have similar weapons to us. Patrick Mahomes is elite. But when you don't have that protection up front, I don't care how good of a quarterback you have. Offensive line is so much more important to a quarterback than weapons around him. I'm not sure if you feel the same way.
No, dude, absolutely. You are right. Look at Dallas in the early 90s. They had the best offensive line I've probably seen, and they won Super Bowls because of it. They made Emmitt Smith look better than Barry Sanders, which is not true. Right? Barry Sanders is the best running back ever. Imagine Barry Sanders behind the Dallas Cowboys offensive line. He would have probably doubled his numbers, right? It's just facts, right? Offensive line is what makes everything go, right? And they can make a good quarterback look great if it's one of those kind of offensive lines. They can make a good running back look great. But yeah, man, you could see, and I tell people all the time, look at our offensive line. Look how much better it has become. Look how much better the running backs have looked since we've improved, right? With the additions of Osiris Torrance, with Spencer Brown getting to where he is now. Obviously, Deion Dawkins. The only really weak link we got is Edwards, and I think we'll replace him soon. But outside of that, once we replace Edwards, we're going to be really, really good up front. But yeah, dude, I'm totally with you on that. Keep building your offensive line. A lot of teams tend to go away from it. I don't get it. It's so important to have one. I mean, you see so many games like last night watching that Vikings game. Holy crap. Atlanta was just
that was a hard watch, man.
Oh, dude, they were a hard watch. They had 5 sacks in the first half. I mean, he had no time, man. So if you don't give your quarterback time, I don't care who's back there. They're gonna get killed. Yeah. So yeah, that was a hard watch, but that's exactly our point. No offensive line is it's gonna shred you, man. So, I really like our offensive line. It's helping Josh obviously a lot. It's helping James Cook a lot. And I'll say this about the receiver. I know you don't believe in having a one, and yeah, here's where I go with that. Look, the everybody eats thing. It can work, right? And I call it everybody eats 2.0 because we got a lot of different receivers. But everybody has to do their job. Everybody has to be consistent what they're doing. And I just feel like right now it's a lot of inconsistency from the receiver room, right? It's just too inconsistent. they show up at here and there, and then they disappear, and the separation is still an issue. I still find Josh Allen going through his reads and finding nobody, and having to scramble until somebody either gets open or he has to run, right? And that's not good. That's not what you want. So these guys have to step up in order for that to work. If not, you have to find a number one. And maybe you don't have to pay one. Maybe you find eventually Bean will go, you know what? Let's just trade up. Let's just go ahead and get us a true stud receiver in the draft. That may have to be the case in time. If this team, this wide receiver group, doesn't eventually get it, like they have to. Like the whole Curtis Samuel thing is a joke. Like that,
it's really weird.
Paying a guy like that just to bench him, and maybe they are shopping him, but it's just like, man, it's just one of those signings where we're going to look back and go, another bad signing, right? 3-year deal for a guy that we're not even dressing now, right? A healthy scratch. So, the addition of Palmer,
healthy scratch,
very expensive. Yeah, very expensive. Yeah. We thought Palmer would be the guy, the separator, right? That's what he was known for. And I still haven't really seen it much. I'll say this, maybe up tempo is the way to go. I keep saying it for this team, for this receiver room, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I just need to see more. I have to see more in order for me to be a true believer of the system, right? Of that everybody eats.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, most definitely. Great segue right over here, because I was asking myself that question this morning. And because like I was thinking, all right, like, what do we need to ask Tommy, right? Like, what do we need to discuss? And this is a great question. It comes from Mr. ATF. He says, were you impressed with James Cook, and was he worth the costs? All right, Tommy. I got to be honest with you, man. I've seen a couple of reps from our boy Ray Davis, right? I've seen a couple of reps from our boy Ray Davis. And I've watched and I've compared them to reps I've seen from James Cook for the first couple of weeks. And I'm like, damn.
Right.
I was like, maybe he was worth $15 million a year. Because, dude, like, I see clips like this from the game and everything along those lines. And, like, this is like his brother. Like, he had no business taking this for 44 yards. His contact balance is incredible.
Yeah.
His vision is all over the place. And I often think that people forget that last year when Josh Allen's hand was broken for halfway through the season, I didn't even show the clip. And so we'll do it again. We'll show the clip again. But I feel like people often forget that when Josh Allen's hand was broken, like, we won games exclusively because of this guy and his rushing attack. And I would credit it, right? Like, yes, Josh Allen got his nose picked really bad, almost to a point where it was broken. And I feel like it probably did affect him at least a little bit. Like, that's wildly uncomfortable. Like, when
100%.
your nose is broken for
100%. 100%, Dan. Yeah.
And once again, we get yet again another game from James Cook, who was able to really put the offense on his damn back and put up 30 points. Because right outside of James Cook, based off of what I was watching offensively for the majority of the game, if you were to tell me, Dan, we're putting up 30 points, I wouldn't have believed you. Yeah, I wouldn't have believed you, and it was all James Cook. So now I ask the question, now that we have seen 2 games from Jimbo, and we reflect back on our feelings of, oh my God, James doesn't deserve X amount of money, have we changed our tune? I feel like I have. I was like, damn, Bean actually got that man for a steal. I'd have given him 20.
Right. Dude, I personally am eating crow. I am. Because I like James Cook, right? For a while. Like last year, I'm like, okay, he's a good running back, but I didn't see greatness in him. I thought he had a good season, but I also thought he benefited a little bit of the offensive line was very helpful for him. And it's true, right? They are helping him, right? Bad offensive line. Obviously, he's not doing what he's doing. But I will say this. Last year, I gave him credit because I felt like his contact balance last year got improved. I thought he was stronger between the tackles running. I thought his vision got way better. He improved a lot last year on things that I thought he needed to improve on. And then this year, he's improved even more. And he's still, he's a touchdown machine. His speed is electric. That play you just showed right there, is wild. That right there is contact balance, vision, taking it to the next level with the speed, and getting to the house. So he's definitely worth the deal. I was in that 12 range, 13 range, but he's living up to his contract. I will say this: a lot of players don't live up to their contract. Look around the NFL, right? Players get paid, players underperform all the time, and it's great to see a player get paid and perform, and sometimes overperform their contract. So good for him. I'm happy, obviously, that he's a Buffalo Bill. And Ray Davis, I expected better. I'll be honest with you from Ray Davis. He's just not doing it right now. And I really, truly believe the Bills in time need a bigger back to complement James Cook. We need a north to south running back, a Carlos Williams to a Shady McCoy. Okay, you need that bigger bruiser back to get that 1 yard instead of Josh Allen always having to do a tush push, or you know what I mean. So I hope in time we get that bruising back, because I just don't know if Ray Davis is not built like that. He's a little bit more of a bruiser than the rest of our backs, but that's still not what I want.
And so I feel like it's painting a picture, right? Because like that was a narrative, just being like, oh, like Ray Davis right behind that offensive line would be able to do the same thing as James Cook. Like I'm looking at the past 2 games and I'm like, can he though? Like, can he? Like, dude, yesterday averaged 2.7 yards per carry, and that's 9 carries, right? Like, I think that's enough subject material to say, all right, he's got to be doing something wrong, because Cook is obviously not having any issues with his carries. At 6.3 on average at 21 carries is absurd. So, look, dude, I'm very glad that like he didn't get paid. And but like it's funny too, because I saw James on a lot of 3rd down attempts too. It's almost like where like this team is looking at it and saying, hey, you know what? Like we did pay you money, so guess what, fool? All right, you're gonna be out there on 3rd down, and you're gonna like it. All right. And like that's insane. Congrats to the Bills. We've got a lot of work to do. NY Jets, Indy. Hey man, listen, you'll figure it out, man. You'll figure it out. Cat Stumbo is saying, good morning to my favorite 2 guys. Tommy, I'll catch you on your show, and Dan, I'll catch you on yours. Go Bills. And on Mondays, you can catch us together. Look at that.
That's right. You know who Ray's turning to? Like Zach Moss. He's Zach Moss. Yes. Zach Moss 2.0.
That's probably a great comparison, to be honest with you.
I mean, they're kind of similar. Like Ray Davis, when he leaves here, he's gonna get a job somewhere else. He's not a terrible running back,
and he'll probably crack 1,000 yards once he does.
right. And people are like, whoa, look at that.
Whoa, damn, dude. Holy hell. Dude, exact same story with Zach Moss last year with Cincinnati, where he's basically 1,000 yards back. I mean, it's funny. To the co-host point, where is Shavers? Shavers is interesting. I haven't even looked at the snap count for Shavers. I saw him a couple of times out there, like as a distraction.
He got a throw to him, and I think it was over his head. That was the Allen throw. He was open. It's his credit. Just Allen sailed it. But where Shavers, where's a lot of these guys? Keon Coleman was like I said, it's the consistency. Like we know they could do it. Like we've seen them make plays. It's just inconsistent, right? It's just like 1 quarter, no show, right? 2nd quarter, we get a good drive from them, right? Somebody shows up and then they're gone again. We need more consistency. We have to, Dan, because you can't just rely on the run game all the time. It's gonna, some teams are eventually going to stop the run, right? They're going to press, and they're gonna, force us to throw the ball, right? And if these guys just cannot get open, they can't separate, it's gonna cause problems. So they got to figure it out. They have to figure that out.
Yeah, most definitely. It's good that, like we've mentioned, that we have a stretch of easy-ass games. Like, easy-ass games. I'm not sure how you feel about the Atlanta Falcons coming up in a couple of weeks. Like, maybe, like, I did like their defense to an extent.
Yeah, the pressure,
Maybe that might be a challenge for us, but, like, I still got the Bills in that one. Like,
I do, too.
Even away. But we'll see. We have BJ coming in, and he's saying, I was pleasantly surprised by Trey White. Even though the Jets don't have the toughest pass game, he made a few really nice plays. I mean, dude.
Yeah. I didn't see him much.
A little bit for you to come back from an ACL.
Right. That was a good one for him.
A little bit. And like based off of him actually looking good again toward the back half of that season when he was with Baltimore, that is right in line of when a player truly gets back to close to 100% of what he was. So I'm not shocked that Tre'Davious White has been playing well at all.
Yeah, he had an ACL and then he had the Achilles. And then I thought he did okay. He got cut by the Rams. He wasn't performing too well there.
No.
Which, once again, I get it. It's one of those things that takes a little bit of time to get back to your at least somewhat playing, the way you used to. But he's definitely lost a step. He's older. He has 2 big injuries. But I thought he played okay yesterday. And like we said, there's some games coming up here, the stretch of games where, he can knock off that rust, right? A lot of these guys and learn, and also for the young guys, learn from these early mistakes and get ready for the second half of football, because that's when they're going to need to really play their best football, man.
They're going to have to, man. They are going to have to. We have a question, and Tommy, I'm going to have you take care of this. I need to use the restroom real fast, but I don't understand why our wide receivers can't separate. We even have new wide receivers. At what point can we question if the plays themselves need some tweaks to them to promote more open space? So right before I hand it off to Tommy and I use the restroom, still think it's a little early. Do keep in mind that we did play 2 very talented secondaries. I'm not going to say that it's a lost cause. Let's see how we do against the Miami Dolphins, right? Hopefully that's a good confidence builder type game, because that might be the worst secondary in all of the NFL. Followed by the Saints, which I think is a step up, but I don't know. Maybe they just need to continue to gel. That's me. Tommy, take it away.
Yeah. Look, man, it's obviously the eyeball test. Eyeball test tells us everything. And what it's telling us right now is these receivers just aren't creating enough separation early in their routes. It's true. And I like the receivers. I do. I think Palmer's a good receiver. Coleman is heading in the right direction. Khalil Shakir, I think, is still bothered by that high ankle sprain. So, we got to give him that. Dawson Knox is still dropping passes out there. Kincaid is still a no-show. Right. So it's I wouldn't say it's something that we should totally worry about after 2 weeks of football, but it is a little concerning. Curtis Samuel can't even get on the field. He's a healthy scratch. Elijah Moore seems to be just we're just throwing him in there here and there for a pass or 2. He's not really heavily involved. So it's I don't understand. We bring all these guys in that can do something different. Elijah Moore has the over the top speed. He could be a gadget guy. We're not really doing that with him. I couldn't tell you the last deep ball we threw, really.
Yeah.
Khalil Shakir, once again, I was telling them, I still think he's a little bothered by the high ankle sprain. So he's not really heavily involved either, like we saw last year. Palmer's supposed to be the guy that separates. He's not, I haven't really seen it much. He did do it the first game when we needed him, at the tail end of that game. But I just find, when you watch the games, I feel like Josh is really struggling finding open receivers. And it just can't be that way, guys. Watching, look, when I watch Red Zone, I watch all these other teams that have pretty good weapons on their team. They're fine. They're open. They're separating, right? They're going over the top. They're throwing deep ball. We're not having that success with these guys. And I don't understand it, because I do feel like some of these guys are good, but maybe just not good enough. So I will say this, by the deadline, it'll be interesting to see, because last year, if you go back to last year, when we had the same, everybody eats mentality, it really wasn't working. And they went out and traded for Amari Cooper. And he did help. Say what you want about Cooper. He didn't put up crazy stats, but if you recall, Keon Coleman had his best game. Yeah, and he had that respect by defenses. So what does that do, Dan? That helps everybody else, right?
It does. Yeah.
Get open, right? So imagine Stephon Diggs when he was here. It helped out Gabe Davis. It helped out everybody else, right? Yeah. Everybody else had that, got that from him, right? Got the award, got the reward of it. We just don't have that luxury right now. And that may be the problem too. So we'll see what it comes, on the deadline. If we're still struggling, Allen's still struggling to find guys to get open. And we're hope now. Like, let's hope they figure it out. But right now, it's shaky, man.
Yeah. I suppose it also comes down to the old notion of you get what you pay for. Right?
Yeah,
right? Like you get what you pay for, like type thing. I genuinely believe that we didn't want to move on from Stephon Diggs, right?
No.
So I think that we were backed into a corner and we had no option. Hence why we went with a wide receiver like Keon Coleman last year, who, by the way, has been playing well. Like, he's been playing well. Like, not like as good as week one, obviously, like not nearly as crazy of a performance. But again, I feel like Keon was more of a, all right, like, let's get a better Gabe Davis. We have Diggs, who creates all that separation. And then obviously he ended up throwing a hissy fit. And like, that's a different conversation that we're having right now. But I don't know. And so I'm staying optimistic. Like, maybe Dalton Kincaid can continue to grow as well. Who knows? Maybe we could have like an unsung hero. We're pumping our chest. We're like, oh my God, where did Dalton Kincaid come from? Or where did Favors come from? Who knows? Yeah.
Kincaid's going to leave here and probably do way better somewhere else. I have this weird feeling when it comes to Kincaid. He's not going to work here. He's going to wind up, they're going to wind up letting him walk after his rookie contract, or we'll wind up trading him, and he'll wind up being like pretty decent tight end somewhere else, or good tight end,
like a top 3 type guy or something like that.
Right. It just, we don't traditionally, Dan, we don't use tight ends in Buffalo.
Yeah, we don't. I mean,
like, I've realized never name a tight end that was
part of our game. It's not part of our game.
Forever. We've had
you're right.
tight ends.
No, dude, it's not in our DNA. Like, we just hate tight ends, bro. Like, we just don't use them.
We just don't use them. So at this point, just go through the draft, get some 5th rounder to block and be an okay.
Keep reloading on Jackson Hawes type players once every 4 years. Like that's
right.
Like, that's what the Bills are. All right, folks, we have opened up the Garage Beer Hotline. Okay, we already have Steven backstage. We're about to bring him in real fast. But folks, say for example that you are looking for the beer to buy on game day or on the weekends or whenever you like throwing them back. You have to go ahead and try out Garage Beer. It is beer tasting beer, ladies and gentlemen. Real man beer, the beer you crack open, talk ball with your boys, talk shop with your boys. Shout out to Garage Beer, being a proud partner of this damn show. And in the meantime, let's go ahead and welcome in our first caller, Steven. Good morning, my friend. How you doing?
Hey, good Victory Monday morning. Yeah,
yes, sir.
It's a great day to be a Bills fan.
Exactly.
I got to get.
I know this voice.
Right,
Steven.
I got to get the trash out of the way first before I get to the Bills, okay? Because of what happened last week that just devastated everybody. So here's the thing. Do you remember 3 years ago, there was a guy named Damar Hamlin who fell out on Monday Night Football against the Cincinnati Bengals?
Mm-hmm.
Now imagine if the Cincinnati Bengals, and worse, their fans would have said in response to that, well, you know what? Damar Hamlin deserved that. I mean, he plays for the Buffalo Bills. He got what he deserved. You notice they didn't do that.
Mm-hmm.
And as a matter of fact, because of the classy way that Cincy responded to that whole situation, Bills Mafia stepped up and gave a bunch of money to Joe Burrow's foundation. All right. So I'm going somewhere with this. Now, Joe Burrow's foundation, I just found this out yesterday. You can look this up. I called in to 700 a.m. in Cincinnati this morning to talk about this. They fired a board member of that foundation, which was an Ohio judge named Ted Berry, who made statements in the aftermath of Charlie Kirk's death like rest in hatred and division. Charlie Kirk spewed hate and division. How's he feel about gun violence and gun control in hell now? So the point with this I want to make is kudos to Joe Burrow, especially with this injury he's got now, stepping up and standing up for what's right. And it's about time we started seeing this kind of response in the NFL. Now, we got them later in the year. I'm expecting the Bills to win big in that game as well. But I just wanted to get that out of the way. It's disgusting. These people that are out there in droves celebrating what happened last week. It's disgusting. And they better be thankful they're losing more than their jobs. That's going on. Now, this is what I want to say about the Bills game. So, first of all, you remember this past week, McDermott, after the Ravens game, he had a meeting with the defense specifically, and he basically reamed them out. And he called for a full pads practice. And the one player of the Bills that complained about this more than anyone else was Ed Oliver. Well, then Ed Oliver, and I'm not saying this has to do with it, but it's kind of ironic. He got injured. Okay. So now he's out, our top defender. But what happened in that game? You saw the Bills defense step up. Now, granted, yes, they weren't playing the Ravens, but I think that what happened was that McDermott had to get a message across the defense. Look, guys, we're not going to have a repeat of last year because the defense was the weak link in the Buffalo Bills. You guys got to step up, and you got to prove that we're a championship team. If we want to go all the way this year, we've got number 17 on offense. And by the way, I've decided to nickname Josh Allen the Elevator because that's exactly what he does. But the defense, you see what happened, especially Joey Bosa. You mentioned Cole Bishop. I mean, there was just so many good players. Bosa was basically living in the backfield for the Jets, and he was Fields' nightmare. And by the way, on offense, this is how bad the Jets were. Sorry, Richie, but I got to bring this up. Mitch Trubisky had more yards passing than Fields in that entire game, and Trubisky was 2 plays. Okay, so but the thing is, the other thing I want to say is the cooks in the kitchen. Cook did a phenomenal job and proved why it was worth paying him the money he gave him in that updated contract. So here's how I want to end what I have to say. The Bills made sure that the Jets they did ground. With Bosa and Cook, they did pound, Jets going down. Now on Thursday with the Dolphins coming to town, it's squish the fish, fry the fins. Bills 3-0 will be the sound.
Oh my God.
I like it.
David, we appreciate you calling in, man. Thank you so much, dude. Some Dr. Seuss stuff at the end of that game, man.
Yeah, bro.
Dr. Seuss stuff at the end of the game, man. I can appreciate that. Shout out to Steven for always being a proud caller of the show, man. You know, dude, we're feeling good. It's Victory Monday, Tommy. And like, honestly, man, you know, like, so I feel like when Sean McDermott decided to throw pads on Wednesday, I was kind of like, damn, should we do that?
Yeah, I mean, it worked out, but he has to be real careful.
Yeah, he does. I'm interested to see if Terrans go on Thursday.
Yeah, like that was an
that's
interesting.
What I think I'm going to be looking for.
I did not. I don't know why I didn't see that. I didn't see him on the injury report early in the week, so I was surprised when I saw him pop up come game day. So maybe that was just me not paying attention. But I was like, Tehran's out. What the hell's going on here? Ed, I knew about, obviously, high ankle sprain, which once again, God, with these high ankle sprains on this team, it's like we just can't catch a break. That and wrist injuries, it's like a thing with us. But
groins now, bro. It's groins now.
Groins, Milano with the hamstring is like, geez, man, when can we catch a break? But let's just get it out of the way early. But he's right. I felt like everybody else stepped up. But it was also a different opponent. You know, let's be real. This was not the Ravens, but Sanders, I felt like played pretty well. And it was a good experience for him to get out there, start an NFL game. But we'll see. But I don't blame McDermott getting on the defense. He has to be careful with overload with some of these guys, man. We're already banged up. That's what it is. So we don't need more guys, going out and practice.
That's what I'm talking about, man. Please, Anyway, we have Beth backstage. She stepped into the garage beer hotline. Beth, what up?
Hey guys, how is it going today on this Victory Monday?
Oh, it's about as good of a Victory Monday as it was last week.
I don't know. I feel like last week's Victory Monday was a little bit more deserving because of how we came back and the showing that we made. Like that's Buffalo right there. We might start slow, but we're going to come back. We're going to be in your face. And ultimately, we're going to end up pulling the win at the end, which I loved. Absolutely. But this week, I think this week's win actually resonates a little bit more because this is our first divisional win. You know what I mean? We've got our first one in the books. And as everybody knows, the Jets play us hard at MetLife Stadium. You know, we really came out, we laid the groundwork right away as soon as the game started. You know, we put points on the board right away, and we kept that same groove. We never took the foot off the gas. And Tommy, you can totally, get behind me on this. I've been saying since the offseason, we have to stop taking our foot off the gas. When we've got the lead, we've got to keep on driving to the end zone to get more and more points, or else the other team ends up coming back. I think we did that, and we did that solidly against the Jets last night.
Yeah, 100%. I still think we could have gone a little bit more cruel and really crushed their throats, right? We could have been crueler. But I agree with you. Like, that's one thing McDermott hasn't done in the past, which is when we get leads at half, especially at half, we come out usually in this playing very conservative on offense, conservative on defense, and before you know it, we're kind of the game's a little bit closer than we would want. But yeah, man, if he gets that mentality, kind of like a Dan Campbell. If you saw Dan Campbell yesterday against the Bears, he didn't give a shit. He was scoring touchdowns, and that's a mentality you got to have. Listen, the Baltimore Ravens learned a valuable lesson.
Yes, they did.
Ain't no time. You got to put points up. You got to put 7 up. You can't give any team a chance to get back in the game. So,
not at all.
So I do like that. Yeah, I do. I like that McDermott stepped up and kept the offense going in the second half. But yeah, I still want to see more. Want to see more.
Well, we definitely want to see more, and not for nothing. Even though we've got a real short week this week against the Dolphins, they have a short week too, and the Dolphins are not looking good this year. So I think Thursday is probably going to be. I think it's going to be a rough start because both the teams are going to be tired, both coming off a very short week. Both are injured too. I mean, you look at what the injury report looks like for the Dolphins, and I mean, they're definitely very short on a lot of positions. So we're kind of both going into this game in the same boat. You know, both of our teams are injured. We are short staffed on a lot of these positions. How exactly is that going to play out when it comes to the scoring and everything else? And not for nothing, I want to throw a big shout out to Mr. Hawes because, again, he made another catch in this game. We got this tight end rookie really kind of coming forward and showing face and being something on the field in these tight plays. I mean, I've got my eyes on him, and he's a sleeper because I don't think anybody's eyes were on him in the beginning.
Tell you what, with Jackson Hawes, solid tight end 3 for us, and based off of how Dawson Knox was playing this Sunday, who knows if he starts stealing reps from him?
He will.
It's all in all. I mean, great win from the Buffalo Bills. Now all eyes are directed toward Miami Thursday Night Football. I'm feeling pretty damn confident about it. I'm not sure about you, chat, but yeah.
I think I feel bad for TD, by the way, Dan and Beth. Like,
so do I.
Good.
So bad.
A good guy. Yeah, he's so optimistic. I love it. But his chat, his live feeds are hilarious, bro.
So you can call it optimistic or delusional, whatever you'd like to, say.
I think they're both there. You have to be delusional to be optimistic. I mean, I'm optimistic, and I always say that I'm delusional too. But we have stats to back it.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and that's one thing he tries to ignore. Yeah, he tries to ignore it. Like it's like clouded by like false hope. but that cloud's gonna quickly disappear, and he goes ham. Right, the next show he does, he's killing his team. So yeah, it's great. He's funny, man.
It's wild. Beth, we appreciate you calling in as always.
Absolutely, guys. You have a great rest of your day. Go Bills.
Go Bills. Go Bills. Shout out to Beth, man. That's fun, dude. And so I think you were in here when I played the clip immediately, but
I was.
Dude, I gotta watch it again. I gotta watch it again because you know what? Like he always surprises me, Tommy. Like whenever I think like, yo, like he cannot beat his last clip, Like, this is the damn clip right here, brother.
His facial expression.
Fins up, fins up. The new era, we back up in the mid. MIAMIDOLPHINs. When do I begin? If you reppin', then we can.
His camera cut out.
He throws. He had one the other day where he like broke his computer. He totally broke his computer. Shut off. Oh, in this, I don't know if you saw it too.
Yeah.
In this game, it was at the end when they lost, and he's yelling at his kids to get out of the room.
Oh, yeah. I have that clip too. It's like, get out of this room, right? Get out. His kids are trolling him, Tommy. His kids are trolling him too.
I hear him in the other room celebrating the other team's victory and laughing at Dolphin mistakes. It's hilarious, man.
He tells me that, like, so I think 2 of his sons are Cowboys fans. So, like, he tells me that, like, they give him so much shit about the Dolphins just being terrible.
Oh, so my God, dude. It's great.
It's poor TD right here. And shout out to my boy Parks. He's a Patriots fan. I'm very excited to hear what he has to say. He's a known Jets hater. He's a known Dolphins hater. He's a regular caller on the AFC's roundtable. Parks, what's going on, man? Good morning.
What's up, Dan Mitchell? I just want to say, Dan Mitchell, thank you so much. Thank you, Bills, for shutting up that Justin Fields Week 1 hype train. Thank y'all so much. Thank you. And I know that the Josh Allen is like the Undertaker, sitting here waiting in the wings. It's been a tombstone power driver, them goddamn Dolphins. Go Bills. Thank y'all so much. I love y'all so much. Thank y'all. I will see y'all at the AFC roundtable. Thank you so much, Dan.
Thank you, Parks.
On the Dolphins side.
He just wanted to come in. He just wanted to come in and let us know that he's thankful for us. You know, like, he's a Patriots fan. Big win for the Pats yesterday, obviously. And yeah, dude, listen, he hates the Jets. He hates the Miami Dolphins. And dude, he's having a hell of a day himself right now, boys. Dude, shout out to Parks. Thank you for coming on in and locking in. Mo is in the building. Mo, welcome to the Garage Beer Hotline. How you doing?
I'm good. I have a question about this win. What type of win would you have rather? The type of win against Baltimore, a close game and an offensive explosion, or a defensive shutout this week?
Ooh. So for me, Tommy, right? It's certainly more exciting for a week 1 type win. But as far as my cardiovascular health, a win like Sunday is much better health-wise. I need a healthy mix of both of them at any given Buffalo Bills season, right? Like, I'm fine with that heart attack win on week 1, but I pray to God that I don't need to see another one of those until bare minimum week 10 or week 11.
Just another question. With Milano out, you think how big will the drop in play be from Dorian Williams to Matt Milano?
It's a great question. Mo, we appreciate you calling in. We're going to answer that, and feel free to call in anytime, brother. We appreciate you, all right? Thank you. Shout out to Mo right there. Tommy, for me, so here's the deal. Shaq Thompson was injured early-ish last week. He was a healthy scratch. I'm not convinced that he was ready to go. I'm not sure about you, but as far as coverage is concerned, I think I trust Shaq Thompson to fill that role more than I do Dorian Williams. Yeah. More than I do any other linebacker coming out. I like Dorian, right? But he is questionable in coverage. We're going up against Miami. I know Miami is terrible, but their identity is very largely, at least what it should be on paper, is the pass attack. You know, like short little passes, those super annoying ass screens. Like maybe A-Chan might be able to get a couple of good plays on us as well. But if Shaq Thompson is good to go, I feel like he's the far more well-rounded linebacker to go with to fill in for Matt Milano, opposed to Dorian Williams.
Yeah, and I think you'll see both on the field if Shaq's ready to go. I think they'll rotate a little bit. But Shaq Thompson, way better pass coverage. Seen a lot of offenses throughout his career So I would definitely trust him more than Dorian, especially on passing downs. But I think you'll see both. I think Dorian will have some rotational with him. But yeah, I'm with you with Shaq. It just depends on his health, because obviously they didn't start. He didn't play. He was out to scratch this week against the Jets. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I still trust in Dorian. That's not his strong suit, and pass coverage is not his thing. But I'll tell you what, for Dorian, if he could work on his craft and get better at pass coverage, he could be Milano's replacement. But if he can't, he won't. He will continue to be what he is. But that's up to him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we're gonna have to figure that out, because Milano, for as much, I love Milano. I do. A healthy Milano is great, but I think the Bills understand this. That's why they pretty much worked his contract out the way they did. This is last year. I don't see Milano coming back. I just don't. I think he's a guy they understand his injuries, and he's just not available a lot throughout the season. So they need to figure that linebacker position out, because I don't know if Dorian's the answer either. Not right now. Yeah. So maybe that's either through the draft or free agency. But I don't think Milano returns after this year. For as much as I like him, it's sad to see guys like that go. You have to eventually understand they're hurting the team more than they're helping the team.
Yeah. It's a hot take. I think next year's drafts, and in no particular order, I think Buffalo goes with left guard, linebacker, safety in the first 3 rounds.
Yep. Yeah.
In no
I'm with
particular
you.
order. So they could go safety in the first. They could go left guard in the second. They could go linebacker in whatever. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I think guard too. They gonna have to make that change. Edwards, I like Edwards. As a matter of fact, I wouldn't even mind Edwards staying on the team as depth. I mean, he's a perfect guy to be here as depth. There'd be nothing wrong with that. Yeah, it's still kind of young, but starting, we need a better guy next to Dion. Got to have a younger guy, kind of like Spencer Brown is with Torrance, right? Spencer Brown's like, yeah, thank you. Got a guy that's confident. He's only getting better. And Dion had just never had that. He's never had a guy next to him where it's a guy that's a younger guy that's trending up in his career. We're just keep on throwing these 1 year, 2 year guys over on Dion's side. It's like, I feel for the guy, man. So I'm with you. I think guard is something they'll look into. I also think center is going to, I don't know if McGovern's going to be back. It all depends on SVP. I think he is our future center. But yeah, I'm with you on that one. And safety, we'll see. We'll see how the season plays out with Bishop. We really will. Maybe that's not a concern going into the draft. Yeah, or maybe it is a concern. We'll find out when that comes. But linebacker, 100%. We're going to have to draft a linebacker in 2026.
Yeah. Folks, unfortunately, we're going to have to close down the Garage Beer Hotline. We got to get out of here in a second. But have no fear. I'm probably going to be going live a bit later this afternoon. I'll go ahead and I'll let a lot of you guys in who didn't have an opportunity of calling in earlier. But, Tommy, what do you got to say to the audience before we let them go on this beautiful Victory Monday?
Yeah, never, ever, ever count the Bills out of anything. And if you guys are in here that are Jets fans or Dolphins fans, know who runs the East. It's still the Buffalo Bills until proven otherwise. We are a very, very good football team. As long as Josh Allen is on this roster, which he will be until he retires, this team is a playoff team every year, in my opinion. And we're only going to get better. We just got to correct some things and get to a Super Bowl. That's it. We need that Super Bowl here in Buffalo. But yeah, I'm excited for this season. Let's see how the season plays out. But 2-0, off to a great start. We got some very winnable games coming up, Dan. And I'm excited about some of these guys returning as well, coming back to the roster, and Hoyt and Majobi and guys, Ed Oliver getting back eventually. And let's see what this team's all about when everyone's healthy. And hopefully receivers can get going. And then we'll be really deadly. I mean, right now, I think we're a really good team, but we could be better.
Absolutely. Folks, as always, go over and subscribe to Mafia Sports Report, the YouTube channel, where Tommy is live all the time with his co-host. Does a great job over on that show. Who knows? Maybe I'll go ahead and I'll make an appearance on there too, as long as I'm not in bed at my typical 8 p.m. EST every night. Say that I feel a little nocturnal one evening. I might hit up Tommy and be like, hey, you want to talk a little ball? But regardless, he does a great job. Certainly go on ahead and show him a little bit of love. Folks, do me a favor, hit that thumbs up sign. Special shout out to anybody that discovered me last night during my live play-by-play. I'm so glad that you were able to tune in on my morning show. I'm live Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. EST, right here, always same place. So have that bell notification turned on, and I hope that a lot of you guys can get the courage, to call into the Garage Beer Hotline one of these times, man. Show me some new faces next time that we hop in on our hopefully next Victory Friday episode, which I could imagine is going to be hitting like absolute crack. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you tuning in. We'll see you next time. Go Bills.
Go Bills.